So the United States of America don't give two conditions for them to fit get the mind to partner with Nigerian military, Nigerian government for waiting get to do with the ongoing attacks on Nigeria in order to have their military, partner with our military. And if they don't partner with us, waiting be the other option. You will get to know waiting with these two conditions. Now part of it in we won't discuss for insight this conversation. Plus the latest anger as expressed by the US President Donald Trump over waiting they happen for Nigeria and how the thing they bite and for Belle well. We'll go back out from there, talk about all the things that don't happen. Almost all the schools don't they shut down, most unity schools don't they shut down because of the attacks. Different governors don't call for shutdown of all schools. Plateau State don't shut down schools, Kebbi don't follow suit, other states don't they follow suit. And people don't they fear, say, wait, does it mean that the government is actually succumbing or yielding to this this bandits or terrorists, as it were, because they don't make them truly use fear, shut down schools? We're going to look at all of this and the implication, and then what's the federal government reaction to all of this conversation? Don't be those. Now, part of it we'll go look at, and then we'll go enter inside the Nnamdi Kanu case, where Peter Obi don't talk this afternoon as he gets to do with the Nnamdi Kanu case. People don't rush him for what he talk, but beyond the rush, people rush him again. Waiting the substance of waiting in talk, and then Alex Otti, the governor of Abia State, don't talk. Say, ain't don't activate plan to make sure say then releasing them the kind of waiting be that plan we activate. You see, all of this matter and more now we're going to yarn this evening. My name is Precious Inid, always sweet my belly to bring on an update of things that happen for inside the country. Welcome to Updates with Precious. It always sweet my belly. Make a run through the headlines so we get before I bring my guest where I get for inside the studio today, con show owner. With the headlines and what we get this evening, Rep. Moore sets two conditions for Nigeria to secure U.S. military partnership. Christian Gënøcīde, Nigerian delegation to U.S. intensely addressing false narrative. Federal government. Persecution of Christians in Nigeria now a genocide. U.S. Rep. Riley Moore. Now they talk this one. And then we'll move on to other issues. Nigeria is a disgrace. It's a genocide. And I'm really angry, President Trump insists. And insecurity, Southwest infiltrated by terrorists. Gani Adams raises alarm. Say, Lagos, we come under attack. Terrorist attacks have increased since Trump's threat. Catholic Archbishop of Lagos. Now they talk this one. Meanwhile, police don't warn against anybody who say they won't plan to do any protest because of the schoolgirls so then vote for Kebbi State. Not gonna just shun them, not try them, not gonna not do any protests really. So what's the best way to express yourself in Nigeria? Silent. In shutting down schools, if shutting down schools is now government's best strategy to prevent mass abductions, then Tinubu has lost war against terrorism. He should resign. Yoruba Union, 90 teller. Meanwhile, Governor Bago orders closure of all schools after mass abduction of students in Niger State. So Niger State don't shut down all their schools. But no governor don't call for prayer, nationwide prayer. In fact, he don't declare statewide prayer and fasting on Monday as Boko Haram terrorists reignite threats. So for Borno State, now prayer and fasting from Monday now we'll use win the war. Meanwhile, for inside Yobe State, Governor Buni don't also direct closure of all boarding schools because of the insecurity. Plateau State will not make their own command for that closure of schools too yesterday. Defense headquarters, by the way, don't debunk viral video of forced recruitment attributed to CDS Oloyede. Say no, they not say everybody must join force. So no. 4 defense ministry officials or directors freed by terrorists after weeks as 2 others feared killed. Saying about 6 of them also 9 them behold on their way to official trip. 9 them kidnapped them. So they say they don't release 4 of them. Niger State abduction toll rises to 315 as fresh search reveals more missing pupils. So in case you don't know, now they want for St. Mary's Catholic Church. The attack on St. Mary's Catholic Church, it don't rise now to 315 children. Imagine 315 of people, children, Christian children, people go say, under that kind of situation. Kebbi Borno terrorist attacks, lawyer Ejiofor warns of sabotage within Nigerian security forces. And then we go straight to Wole Soyinka to get to react to Trump. But I say it's madness to help with guns. It's madness to help with guns ablazing. Shoyinka faults Trump's invasion threats. And then to move on, as nothing troubles me more gravely than insecurity in Nigeria, Tinubu claims. Tinubu said, nothing they pay me. Nothing they pay me reach the security for Nigeria. I they pay me where. Oh, let's go to Nnamdi Kanu's case now, where Nnamdi Kanu's conviction represents failure of leadership. Peter Obi they talk that one, and Nigerians don't react to that well. Waiting with their reactions, we will also let you know. And then I've activated strategy to secure Nnamdi Kanu's release, says Abia Governor Alex Otti. And I'm really angry. I don't tell you now, say, oh God, Donald Trump. They really vex well for Nigeria, and they make me vex. Meanwhile, Atiku Dangote to northern leaders, unite or region declines further. Make una unite, all northern leaders, unite or the region could decline. This one will happen no good. Insecurity, I don't tell her waiting Gani Adams talk already that time, and I don't tell her waiting police talk. Well, all of this matter and more now could look at this evening. It's always a pleasure to be with us to bring on things really happen for inside the country. Joining me this evening, that Dr. Anosike. Dr. Anosike, good evening and thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Thank you. So sorry that I'm making you start a bit late. Please forgive me. Welcome, sir.
No problem.
Thank you so much, sir. So I would like me to start with this fresh, not just threat by Donald Trump or the rep wing, saying that rep Riley Moore now giving charge to, monitor and give them information on what's happened with the Nigerian situation, right? So the U.S. Congressman Riley Moore don't outline two conditions the Nigerian government must meet before any partnership with the U.S. military to address the security challenges confronting the country. Security challenges confronting the country can be considered. Now, Rep Moore, in an interview with Fox News today, said the first requirement is the release of Sunday Jackson, who was sentenced to death for killing Fulani headsman in what he claimed was a self-defense. Now, it was reported that Jackson received death sentence after killing a headsman who allegedly invaded his farm. Now, in the interview, the Republican lawmaker insisted that the young man must be released before the U.S. would consider partnering with Nigeria to tackle the decade-long security issues. He added that the second requirement is for Nigerian government. Listen, Oga, the second requirement is for Nigerian government to present a credible plan to disarm Fulani headsmen. That is plan where they get to disarm Fulani headsmen who are causing unrest in the Middle Belt. He said it sounds like they are open to partner with the United States because say our delegation they there now they talk. So say it sounds like they're open to partner with the United States to stop these killings. They met with myself and the administration as well. We made some progress in getting them to partner with us to stop these killings, but there is a lot of things they need to do. And I think one of the steps is to releasing Sunday Jackson, is the releasing of Sunday Jackson. Another one is coming up with working with us with a plan to disarm the radical Fulani militants in the Middle Belt of the country. Make we quickly listen to Ramoni talk. So they say Lizard one person say if he become Python. Let's hear him say that. Because the problem, Nana, see, if this doesn't happen, then what's the next option? To invade Nigeria themselves, like they talk, if they don't partner with us. The truce or the negotiation now, make on no come guns are blazing. Make we negotiate because of the sovereign nation. But make I quickly just go play that interview.
It's illegal to own firearms in Nigeria, but somehow these nomadic tribesmen can just lay waste and murder all over the country against Christians, and nobody does anything. But you have this individual, Sunday Jackson, who was a Christian farmer who defended himself against an Islamic radical Fulani militant. He's facing the death penalty right now. Where's the justice in that? And that's one of the things I think the Nigerian government can do is to restore credibility in their government and the justice system is to free Sunday Jackson.
Congressman Moore, I want to play some remarks you made 2 weeks ago on this program. You had a word of caution, perhaps, I would say, to the Nigerian government with whom you met some representatives this week. Here's what you said 2 weeks ago.
I'm asking Nigeria, do the right thing here. Partner with the United States.
Partner with the United States. Help us protect the Christians in your country, and we will help you. This doesn't have to be all sticks. It can also be carrots here.
Kinetic military options
or we do have these kinetic military options on the table, which the president has made very clear to consider.
Nigeria delegation.
You met with the
Have those kinetic threats move them at all?
Kaylee, actually, I will say that the meeting was productive. It was frank, very honest with them, and it does sound like they are open to partnering with the United States to stop these killings. They met with myself and the administration as well, including Secretary Pete Hegseth. And so I think we did make some progress in getting them to a place to partner with us to stop these killings. But there's a lot of things that they can do, and I think one of these first steps is releasing Sunday Jackson. I think another one is coming up, working with us for a plan to disarm these militants in the middle belt of the country, the Fulani Islamic radicals that are there. But we did make progress in that conversation.
In the middle belt of the country, the Fulani.
That stuck out to me. This is in the New York Times. And this was about the earlier attack. It's sad that you have to differentiate. There were two school attacks.
This is in the New York Times.
The earlier one.
And this was about the
stormed the school for more than 20 minutes, apparently without any intervention from security forces. There is a security checkpoint not far from the school. And the Nigerian police force says, look, we were there. There's so many mixed messages. Are you confident that they're trying to rescue these girls?
And the Nigerian police force says, look, we were there. There's so many mixed messages.
Took those sweet little girls.
Well, and those girls all haven't been returned yet either. And so this is escalating out of control. The National Security Advisor who led that high-level delegation that came to the U.S. for these meetings,
the National Security Advisor who led that high-level delegation
that came place here, and they got to make the right decision, or President Trump is going to start making some decisions. He's made that very clear. But I do think that this is an opportunity for the Nigerians to work with us in coordination and cooperation to end this. Stop the killing of these Christians. Stop the kidnapping of these children. This has got to end. It's a human tragedy that's taking place over there.
Congressman Riley. Well, West Virginia Republican Congressman Riley Moore is back with me now. He has been following the situation. We've talked to him many times. Congressman Moore, my heart is broken as a mother. I woke up yesterday and I saw 52 girls taken from a Catholic school. That number is now in the hundreds. We have pictures of the dormitory at a separate school where girls were taken that we'll put up on the screen. What can you tell us about this?
We have pictures of the dormitory at a separate school where girls were taken.
Kaylee, I mean, this is just, as a father, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I'm just so sick and tired.
Kaylee, I mean, this is just, as a father, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I'm just...
More kids getting kidnapped, more Christians being murdered, and it's just it's
talk about more kids getting kidnapped, more Christians being murdered.
And what I can tell you right now is no one has laid claim to this abduction.
And what I can tell you right now is no one has laid claim.
Striking this school, St. Mary's. So that's who I believe has done this again. That's who I believe attacked
striking
this
school,
also
St. Mary's
this week, where people were abducted and killed. And this is why at that hearing where you just played at the outset that we had with the administration, which I was part of that hearing, one of the things I am calling for is for the government to disarm the Fulani militants in the middle belt of the country. It's illegal to own firearms in Nigeria, but
so I'm sincere apologies for the audio issue for inside that this thing recording. So sorry, forgive me. But I hope did you get at least the substance of the conversation, sir?
I get the substance.
Okay, so waiting in the talk, in give these conditions. One, the release of Sunday Jackson, because they try to defend themselves from armed headsmen. Where don't they proven to attack people and kill them for their farms? So you cannot kill him for killing somebody who would have killed him. He was defending himself, and then you're sentencing him to death by hanging. Meanwhile, a whole what did they call them? Terrorist. Then give the terrorist only 20 years imprisonment. That's one of the conditions they're giving. And then they say two, that the federal government must show a clear cut-out plan on what they won't do to end this terrorism. The question we say, then the US, they talk, say, then they cooperate with them. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Nigerian government, they talk, say, our delegates we go. You hear what in talk say na our national security advisor and only the high level delegation we come and be. So in the other hand, now they talk say Nigerian government through the Minister of Information, they talk say, oh, say our delegates we go, say that they work hard to stop the misinformation of Christian genocide. I have a report from here yesterday when these people were saying that, say the Nigerian government they work with them, say they don't agree, say they go agree to their terms to stop the killing of Christians. So if the US is saying that they are cooperating with them on the killing of Christians, then the Nigerian government they can't talk say, oh, our people are working hard in the US to stop the misinformation about killing of Christians. Oga, which one will go believe? Then before we go straight to those conditions where the US give, how possible is it that would work?
Okay, the woman quoted the New York Times.
Yes.
Where that story was written in New York Times, not in Vanguard or Tribune newspaper, which means they are getting information of what is happening in Nigeria. So there's nothing like misinformation here. They know what is happening. They even show the pictures of the schools.
Yes. Yes.
They show the picture of the school.
The dormitory self.
The dormitory, which means they are on ground
in ground.
Nigeria.
Yes.
On ground in Nigeria, so they have their facts.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Idris is trying to defend his government, but he is not succeeding because Americans are ahead in information.
Sorry, sir, your phone. Go ahead.
Are ahead in information. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Yes, America are very much ahead in information, so they cannot deceive Americans or the world, or the information is everywhere. So there's nothing that they can do.
Okay, so let's go to the conditions we visit and give Nigeria. How possible it is our people go meet up with that condition?
Well, for me, it is a very simple condition. They even pity them. You hear? Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, sir. Please go on. I can hear you, sir.
I say they even pitied us because the number one condition there is now not be to open or the prison for the Taraba person that to go.
That one no go come cause another problem when they go talk say, oh, did they try the US? They put hand, did they change our law? Did they stop our law? Did they make our law look like saying they work? Would that not cause that kind of confusion? That's the problem.
One, for me, the conditions are very, very easy. That's number one day easy. The one where I think say go there a little difficult is disarming those herdsmen.
So how would they not achieve that one? How would they not achieve that one? The one of disarming the herdsmen?
Because you cannot call them for the meeting and say, everybody bring your gun, bring your gun. You know they're too easy. But
they're not government. They say they must show them clear cut-out plan. So you know the reason why they asked all this question. Say different security experts don't talk about in the past. Say the US was to partner with Nigerian government in 2014 to release Chibok girls and Nigerian military. And upon entering that partnership, our own Nigerian military, our very own Nigerian military, go leak the secret of the plans so they don't get to Boko Haram. Before they not reach Boko Haram camp, then say they may talk, say they go use some sort of gas, so that they go sleep off another and carry all the girls unarmed. Then go leak the secrets to Boko Haram. All of them come wear nose mask. They wear mask. You understand? So this kind of thing, and then you see, if you see the way attacks on the use go on, see what happened to the general and how information about him whereabouts use they know, right? And then if you also see what happened to the military officers where they're sent to go release some of the KB girls, as then you shoot them, get intelligence, the bandits them or terrorists and begin shoot them for road. That is to say that the military is compromised. So how will they start disarming those people with the compromised military?
That's why I say this: the number 2 condition will be a bit or difficult. But Nigeria can start by saying that every herdsman herdsman has been banned from carrying AK-47, and that no non-state actor should carry
yeah, he mentioned it. He said that that people are not supposed to carry guns. So how did those people have those guns? How did they use get them? How did they use them?
So that is this Badejo, who was even as powerful as the president when Buhari was there. Nnamdi was saying that wild animals used to attack them in the forests. So they now use those AK-47 to defend themselves. That was his reason then under Buhari, because Buhari is also a herdsman. But the issue now, the president now is not a herdsman. So a king that does not know Joseph is now in power. So it will not be easy.
Do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very willing and ready to end this, whatever it is that is going on? Because a lot of people, they talk, so this plan, they tougher than we think. That is, it's more powerful than. In fact, there was an interview I watched today, and I'm going to play excerpt of it from, I think, Adeola Fayohun's show, where Reverend Laddie Thompson, the review, say, na international high-powered conspiracy now they go on for Nigeria. Say now something where be say people like Osama bin Laden don't perfect since 1990. He really made a lot of people scared with those revelations. So you think say this kind of thing with this one, first of all, US go get that information. If US get information, how you think say they won't fit really help us since the thing they this deep rooted and get some international connection, especially considering say some of these terrorists get connection with ISIS.
Well, governments can start by making the announcement first that the herdsmen are banned from carrying AK-47. Let it be official. Therefore, any herdsman that is seen with a gun should be arrested. If it's announced, if it becomes official. But the problem is that many of them will go and hide inside the forest, inside the bush. But it's not going to be a one-day thing. It's going to take some time. But it is doable. It is not impossible.
Okay, sir. So let me quickly see if I can replay that video. Lots of people are complaining that they didn't quite get it because of that echo. Let me see if I can replay it.
Virginia Republican Congressman Riley Moore is back with me now. He has been following the situation. We've talked to him many times. Congressman Moore, my heart is broken as a mother. I woke up yesterday and I saw 52 girls taken from a Catholic school. That number is now in the hundreds. We have pictures of the dormitory at a separate school where girls were taken that we'll put up on the screen. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, Kaylee, I mean, this is just, as a father, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And I'm just so sick and tired of, frankly, doing interviews like this where I have to talk about more kids getting kidnapped, more Christians being murdered. And it's just, it makes your stomach turn. It just does. And what I can tell you right now is no one has laid claim to this abduction, which makes me believe that this was Fulani militants again, striking this school, St. Mary's. So that's who I believe has done this again. That's who I believe attacked that Catholic church also earlier this week where people were abducted and killed. And this is why at that hearing where you just played at the outset that we had with the administration, which I was part of that hearing, one of the things I am calling for is for the government to disarm the Fulani militants in the middle belt of the country. It's illegal to own firearms in Nigeria, but somehow these nomadic tribesmen can just lay waste and murder all over the country against Christians, and nobody does anything. But you have this individual, Sunday Jackson, who is a Christian farmer who defended himself against an Islamic radical Fulani militant. He's facing the death penalty right now. Where's the justice in that? And that's one of the things I think the Nigerian government can do, is to restore credibility in their government and their justice system, is to free Sunday Jackson.
Congressman Moore, I want to play some remarks you made 2 weeks ago on this program. You had a word of caution, perhaps, I would say, to the Nigerian government, with whom you met some representatives this week. Here's what you said 2 weeks ago.
I'm asking Nigeria, do the right thing here. Partner with the United States. Help us protect the Christians in your country, and we will help you. This doesn't have to be all sticks. It can also be carrots here. Or we do have these kinetic military options on the table, which the president has made very clear he will consider.
You met with the Nigerian delegation this week. Have those kinetic threats moved them at all?
Kayleigh, actually, I will say that the meeting was productive. It was frank, very honest with them, and it does sound like they are open to partnering with the United States to stop these killings. They met with myself and the administration as well, including Secretary Pete Hegseth. And so I think we did make some progress in getting them to a place to partner with us to stop these killings. But there's a lot of things that they can do, and I think one of these first steps is releasing Sunday Jackson. I think another one is coming up, working with us for a plan to disarm these militants in the middle belt of the country, the Fulani Islamic radicals that are there. But we did make progress in that conversation.
I do want to also pull up some words that stuck out to me. This is in the New York Times. And this was about the earlier attack. It's sad that you have to differentiate. There were 2 schoolgirl attacks this week. Well, this was the earlier one. The gunman stormed the school for more than 20 minutes, apparently without any intervention from security forces. There is a security checkpoint not far from the school. And the Nigerian police force says, look, we were there.
All right. So, I mean, we could go on and on with that interview. This was just for the purpose of clarity for those who've been here waiting in talk before. Now, speaking about the checkpoints there, Governor of Kebbi State don't also complain, say, who ordered the military to evacuate their checkpoints exactly 30 to 40 minutes before this attack happened? They left around 4 a.m. thereabout, or 3 a.m. The attack happened around 4 a.m. Why did they have to move? Is it the same pattern of thing where it be like saying that happened for Chibok attack? Then don't they look like what's happened for this one? What is all of this conspiracy? When it be say let me take your thoughts, sir, because this is painful.
Well, for me, exactly what happened in 2014 is what is happening now. Exactly, because in the Chibok case, there was a security report that the WAEC should not hold. There was a security report that the WAEC should not hold, but they still go on to take the WAEC, and it was in the process that those students were kidnapped. So it's exactly what the same thing: breach of security, negligence of security.
Okay, so as I tell you earlier, the Minister of Information don't talk, say did our Nigerian high power delegation, they work very hard to end the disinformation about the narrative about the Christian genocide for Nigeria. So say they will do the right thing. But let's move on to some more things. So if you say Congress more and more talk. Now, the lawmaker will represent West Virginia's 2nd district in Congress, Riley Moore, he don't describe the persecution of Christians in Nigeria as genocide. Now, Moore talked this one for inside a tweet today, Saturday, where he shared an interview with Fox News on the recent killings. Now, inside that tweet, he shared this interview for the abductions for Nigeria. According to him, he said it is up to the Nigerian government to work with the United States to halt terrorism, otherwise President Donald Trump would step in. So this is now, that means there is an opportunity now, a window for the government to do the right thing so that they go feel work with them. Or Trump is not saying if you don't work with us, we no go grow. He say if you do the right thing, convince us, say you don't be willing for us to work with you, we'll go work with you. But if you not convince us, say we'll go work with you, now we go enter guns a blazing. and do what we need to do. You see how you see this threat, as I don't ask you before, but now that it's being re-emphasized again, because Donald Trump talked yesterday. Did you hear that he's recording yesterday where he lamented about what's going on in Nigeria? Did you hear it? Hello, sir. Dr. Nosike, sir.
Yes, I listened to it.
Okay, you listen to it. So yeah, the team vexed some. Well, he's saying they're very angry. Saying Nigeria a very disgraced country, saying they're very angry.
I listened to it.
Saying they're very angry for the killings where they go on and all that. So with Trump, renewed anger from waiting in talk yesterday, and this one's where basically a congressman just talk back to back. How fast you think our government could feed day in ensuring they meet their plan before the intervention coming? Because as it stands now, these headsmen, whatever it is, both the Fulani headsmen or both the terrorists and the bandits, because now 3 factions or more than the Boko Haram, ISWAP, bandits, and Fulani militias. So all these people, they intensify effort. Attacks just happen back to back. You be like, say, then they dare Donald Trump, say, oh, we dare you. And you know how Nigerian government in the day, if they don't give them condition like this now, if we can call committee for three weeks, no committee sit down, can't think about that. Do you think the US will have the patience to wait for us while all these things go on? And do you think we'll have what it takes to be swift in our response to the US? Dr. Nosike, I don't know if you're there. Dr. Nosike, sir. Okay, I may have to move on. Dr. Nosike, can you hear me, please? I don't know. I think I've lost him. Dr. Nosike, are you there? Okay, I think I've lost him. We'll try to reconnect with him and see how that goes. Let's see. We'll try to reconnect with him. But I mean, these are questions we BC will just ask because we won't know waiting it be where they really happen and how possibly good day for Nigerian government to actually nip this in the bud and to correct them. I mean, if you watch that interview with Reverend Ladi Thompson today, you would be very, very deeply worried about the state of Nigeria. You would be deeply worried because you could ask yourself, say, come. Do we think that our government can really handle this if all of these things with these experts in the talk not true? Is it possible that our government gets within it take to handle these issues? Because we really worried about the matter. Now, let's move on to other issues very quickly before we come back. As it still gets to do with insecurity, the area on Nakakamfo of Yoruba land, Ghanaian dams, don't want say armed groups have infiltrated several communities in the southwest with plans to launch coordinated attacks. So this is not unique to North Central alone. As in reach Kogi Kwara, they don't already reach other parts of Southwest. Now, Adams issued this warning during an interview with New Central TV at his Lagos residence, where he said intelligence at his disposal suggests a growing and immediate danger. We are at a point where the security situation in the country has become deeply troubling. Recent incidents across numerous states show clearly that Nigeria is facing a serious security threat. Credible information available to us indicates that terrorists have already infiltrated many communities in Yoruba land. That's what he talked. He added that developments in neighboring Kogi and Kwara states, 2 regions he described as buffer zones, of course, to the southwest, suggest that armed groups are testing tactics ahead of broader assaults. What they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is simply to test the terrain before launching major attacks. The intelligence we have shows that they are targeting Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and even Lagos State. So that means this may eventually drive home to Lagos State. Now, when asked to identify the source in, the groups involved, Adams links the threat to various armed factions operating in northern Nigeria, noting that his assertions were based on information obtained from undisclosed sources. So if you talk more. Now, there are 2 same groups responsible for daily attacks in other parts of the country. Sometimes they are labeled as bandits, sometimes as violent herdsmen. Not be small set, because I don't know why we call them bandits. I don't know why we call them headsmen. I don't know why it is hard for our government to call them terrorists, but it's very easy for you to call IPOB terrorists. If it is not partial that we are playing in this country, I don't understand. That's what people say. These are the kind of things, because we keep calling people who have killed people and keep killing people and kidnapping for ransom and all that, bandits to just trivialize their actions, to make it look easy and simple, and to just make it, I don't understand. Whoa. But then beyond that, we know, according to Adams, that international terrorist organizations such as ISIS, ISWAP, and Boko Haram also operate in Nigeria. There are also splinter groups that broke away from them, so he said. He claims that foreign elements are involved in coordinating some of the alleged activities. He said, in fact, I can say authoritatively that some foreigners are coordinating this. It is not limited to Nigerians alone, he asserted. I mean, that can bring me back to what I tell you, say, Reverend Ladi Thompson talk. It can't bring me back to that talk again. It can't bring me back to that talk. You see, we are in very scary times. But make I just go on to talk within this Catholic Archbishop of Lagos talk. The Most Reverend Dr. Alfred Adewale Martins, he don't warn the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration not to treat bandits with kids' glove. You see, not carry hand glove where they wear small children use carry, bandits. So it no go easy for you, and that's why they want them. Now, Archbishop Martins, in a statement today, Saturday, called for more urgent official measures to curb alarming rate of insecurity across the country. He said the fostering terrorist attacks in parts of the country have underlined the need for the federal government and the security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, identify and deal decisively with the terrorists and their sponsors. Importantly, their sponsors. Now, Archbishop Martins lamented the attacks at the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Magi, Kebbi State, and St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri, Agbara local government area of Niger State, where students were abducted. And the abduction toll right now don't rise to 315 and still counting for inside St. Mary's. Now, it is a matter of great concern that there has been a spike in the case of terrorist attacks across the country in recent times, especially since the threat made by President Donald Trump, he said. It seems there are more elements who are making deliberate efforts to throw this nation into chaos. And we say, God forbid, if that can help. For instance, how does one describe the manner at which the were kidnapped? The brutal murder of a staff member, security officer, Hassan Yakubu Makuku, who was shot when assailants broke into his residence in school premises. How can we describe all that? So in the midst of all of these things where we talk about these abductions and the fact, say, government across board don't they close schools. I mean, almost all unity schools don't they shut down, especially around the north. And people don't they complain, say, if President Tinubu fit dey like this, say they shut down schools. The only way we be say go fit do that to shut down schools, then be say Okukuma don't lose the war against terrorism. Now let me talk this one on a Yoruba social cultural organization. Now they talk about. Say he accused President Tinubu of losing control of Nigeria's security apparatus amid rising security closure, rising school closures prompted by terrorist attacks in the country. In the statement issued today, Saturday, the union's convener Olushola Badero and released through Home Director Princess Balogu. The group described state government decisions to shut schools as a dangerous signal that terrorists are dictating national security priorities. So now terrorists, they dictate wetin dey happen to us for national matter. No be we they even talk. Now terrorists they talk because now wetin they talk now they happen. Now the federal government's paralysis and indecision is confronting violent armed groups is evident. The statement, of course, read, criticizing what it called the administration's reliance on dialogue and ransom payments to terrorists instead of disarmament, in fact, dismantling them and the terror network entirely. So, if the only result we go give now, say Niger State don't order shutdown of schools, Kebbi State don't order shutdown of schools, Plateau State don't order shutdown of schools, Nasarawa may follow, unity schools across those areas are already shut down and shutting down, and then Borno State Governor Zulum, they ask, say, if they commit Monday, no could use do fasting and prayer against insecurity and all that. If this is all we can do, people are saying that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed when it comes to handling security. Now, make I go play small excerpt of that interview with for inside Adeola's show with Reverend Lad Johnson. Let's take it
away from their husbands. I mean, sometimes young girls are kidnapped, sometimes wives are kidnapped, married off Islamically, and you will see that if someone will come, the governors were aware. I can give you a case where we have to let us make it an issue. Terrorist attack in that time we are cooperating. taken away from their husbands. I mean, sometimes young girls are kidnapped, sometimes wives are kidnapped, married off Islamically, and you will see that if someone will come, the governors were aware. I can give you a case where we had to curb a terrorist attack in Kaduna State. We could tell you the modus operandi. It started with Gumi when he came back from Mecca, when he came back from Saudi Arabia. His first tafsir in Kaduna was a call to violence, to slaughter. The VHS came to me because we have been setting up early warning systems, and this is what a real early warning system is to prevent something. When we got it, we translated it into English, and at that time it was Obasanjo who was the president of Nigeria. Thank God for the first square general overseer, who is now late, Wilson Badijo, who assured me that what we prepared and gave to him was given to Obasanjo in his bedroom. But what they didn't know was that we were still monitoring Kaduna to see whether the arms build-up towards the execution was going to stop. When we saw that it was not going to stop, in fact, this is a good example I'm giving you, I had to call a special strategic session with media, because media is a force expander in this new war form, this Hydra-headed war form. At that time, the man they call Additional, who became Buhari's media, whatever, was at that time an editor-in-chief or something in one of the newspapers. They gathered together, and I told them, this is the problem. They are about to kill 600 to 900 people. Femi Additional. They are about to kill 600 to 900 people in Kaduna. And I said to them, we have sent all the information to the army, to all the places. There's nobody stopping them. Unknown to them, we were monitoring. The Gumi boy went into the SSS office in Kaduna laughing and came out laughing. When I got that report in Lagos, we decided to call this media meeting and said, look, how do we solve this? Now, there's a headline that we had to put up where they did as if they interviewed the head of CAN and had to interview Gumi. Immediately, we took the front pages, the full pages in the newspapers and the new media, and the news blew across the world. The queries came to the president of Nigeria. It was reported to me directly that the Gumi boy entered, then it was a small boy, he entered the SSS office. This time he didn't come out laughing. He left the country immediately. Now, this is a guy who has been banned by Saudi Arabia. They didn't allow him to enter Saudi Arabia. Let me give you another proof. I was on television when I found out there was no other way of escape, when an Al-Qaeda operative was already appointed as a federal minister in Buhari's government. And I questioned...
Do you mind naming that minister?
What's his name? Something, Issa Pantami. How do I know? I supervised an evacuation in 2004 when a young Christian was slaughtered in the mosque of ATBU. That's Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University. Okay? Now, when we supervised that, it was this Pantami, who was a lecturer in that university at that time, who put a fatwa on certain students because they preached the gospel to Muslims in a university. And at that time, when they killed that boy, we had to go and evacuate the others whose names I spoke to them recently. They are still afraid till now. The young guys brought them into Lagos. We made arrangements to take them into other countries where there's better respect for human worth. And then Sunday Achi was the name of the student who was murdered. Okay? At that time, for you to know how this thing works, there was a bishop who was working with the Obasanjo government, who went to arrange for the burial of this boy. I went away from their husbands. Sometimes I said, let us make it an issue. They at that time were cooperating because they didn't realize how dangerous this Hydra is. Later, that Hydra attacked that bishop, almost killed him, finished his secretary. Fortunately, they couldn't catch his wife. They maimed him. And today, he's one of the forefront advocates who has realized how dangerous this thing is. I could easily give you many more examples. One of the former head of state, who was claiming that there was nothing in his time, I was at a meeting with him in his home in Otta. When he gave me his own version of what he believed was going on, I said to him, sir, during your government, they were already building up more and more, infiltrating more and more. I said, do you remember a meeting you went to have in northern Nigeria when these things happened? When you left, they slaughtered every member of the family that entertained you. I said, they were sending you a warning to back off. Now, some years later, he went for a security meeting outside Nigeria, and I think when they showed him the build-up of what is coming into Nigeria when the final phase comes. Look, the Nigerian army in totality, everybody knows what the number is. The last time they engaged the BH on 3 war fronts. It took almost 2.5 weeks to overcome. So everybody realizes that if you think the Nigerian army can withstand a combined forces of what ISWAP has planned in the future, what is working for us right now is very simple. Nigeria is 220 million people strong. The number of all these people who want to swallow Nigeria, they're not even up to 450,000. Now, the strength of this is, let me break one nonsense that is going all around. And this is what we have to be careful to counsel the US government about. Anybody who looks and thinks that the Fulani is a primary problem is a joker. The Fulani is not the primary problem. All the combined forces of all these people is not up to 400 and something million. Now, is it this ill-educated...
400 and something thousand.
Yes. All these ill-educated, all these, what can I say, anachronistic human beings who are wearing loincloth all over the whole place, do you think that they are the real problem? Listen, the Fulanis have told you that they were busy using their six when people came and gave them AK-47s and took their children to go and train. Why don't we realize that it's the intelligence that is arranging logistics, that is arranging safe passage for them? I have boys in the army. We used to pray for them. When they locate the enemy position in the Nigerian army, a signal comes from Abuja that they should not attack. The signal will be delayed. After 3 hours, they tell them, now go. The Boko Haram will have left that place.
So
what more proof
are
do we
you
need?
saying that the Nigerian government is involved in what is
What are you saying?
happening?
Even Jonathan, before he left, openly said they are in my cabinet. Look, this thing has been known to collapse nations from within. So there's nothing new about what is going on in Nigeria. It's just like the architecture of thought. I would rather speak to the young.
All right, sir. So he did say quite a lot of other things, and they even talk about how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you strike a deal with these terrorists or with these people. I mean, before you become president, and that, you know, if only no say maybe waiting in strike a deal about now a broader thing we get international connection and not be some local matter, say maybe for understand better. Ms. Anosike don't rejoin us again. Ms. Anosike, I don't know if Dr. Anosike rather, I don't know if you saw that video and if you've even seen the full video clip of that interview. Dr. Anosike, are you there? This network again, I can't deal. Dr. Anosike, please, are you there? Please let me know if you're there. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Dr. Anosike, can you hear me? All right, this is horrible. We can't keep doing this. All right, so I was just hoping we can have that clear conversation, but you know, so that is where we are right now in our country, and this is really very scary. We get the ability to handle this whole issues, and the problem is, say, I beg don't vex. So how is it that these stories then just they come up now, and then our government then since never know anything about this? How possible is it? Say this kind of thing they go on since, and our government them since never know all of these kind of things really happen. Even they possible. See this kind of things go on since without our government knowing. Well, that's a matter for another day. But let's move on to other issues. As the defense headquarters on Saturday today debunked the viral video purporting to show the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, ordering the forceful recruitment of young Nigerians into the armed forces for training in combat insecurity in the country. Mr. Nasik, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you quickly rejoin us, sir? Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you.
I don't know what's happening. Can you? Okay.
you.
Okay. So perhaps let's just talk a little bit over the phone. Okay. So I don't know if you heard, you watched that video and that I just played. Did you see the video, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. So I'd like you to react to it. You know, alongside with all the security thing where they happen for inside the country. What's going to be a reaction?
Well, for me, what you said is scary. It's scary. Understand? So, and I don't even want to believe that such a thing is happening in this country. It is a very big revelation, and it simply means that we are not safe in this country.
Because wasn't he talking? You know, say he talks anything.
Are happening in this country.
Exactly. Talk say the connection, international connection, and say the thing pass as we even see, say it's supposed to be said. And say these people, they our government. They our government. So, and then he named somebody like Isa Pantami with in full chest, though. He named Shegumi, he named some other people then. And how come we have, and then what could this be one of the reasons we make it hard for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari to release the names of sponsors of terrorism we say the UAE been given?
That should be. Because a lot of the time, some people are in government but not in power. And those in power control those who are in government.
Oh dear, another network issue. This is terrible. I hope we can have a good night. Miss Anosike, you didn't hear me? Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you.
Okay. I just hope that we can have a clear conversation here, please, so that we don't keep going back and forth. All right. Okay, so the abduction for Niger State, we hear say you don't reach 315. This is very worrisome, and that is in a Catholic school. And this one also they happen as security lawyer Ejiofor they talk say in fact say there's sabotage in Nigerian security from within. Now we to make all this is here, but that's if I Ejiofor now they talk like that. I mean, everybody already know this one now. But how come if we were, I mean, if anybody did for president, if you did President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's shoes, what would you have done differently right now as these things they happen, sir?
For me, I also believe there's sabotage. I believe that some people are trying to, some interest group are trying to sabotage the Tinubu administration, because this is what happened in 2014-15 to make, they use these abductions to make a Jonathan government look weak and bad. And exactly the same thing is going on in the country now.
All right, so make we enter inside another conversation very, very quickly. This Nancy get to do with the release of okay. I mean, I don't want to talk about Wole Soyinka. And would you like to comment on Wole Soyinka and waiting in talk about Donald Trump? Say the only person will get madness for head, then go to see the entire person country guns are blazing.
Well, Soyinka has been fighting Donald Trump since 2016. It was in 2015 he said if Trump win, he will tear his green card. And 2016, Jonathan won. So there have been at least Wole Soyinka had been fighting Donald Trump since 2016.
And then
whether
go ahead, sir.
Continue.
Okay, I be want to tell you, sir, as it get to do with all of
whether,
okay, go ahead, sir.
But whether Donald Trump knows Soyinka is what I don't know. Because at times you go there angry for somebody when even no say you did.
I see what you do there, sir. I see what you do for that statement, but it's okay. But your president say make a tell on I say the thing they pain and well. So all this insecurity, say nothing they worry and passes insecurity. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu described insecurity as the most pressing challenge confronting Nigeria, particularly the northern region, warning that the nation cannot achieve meaningful progress unless peace is restored. Speaking today, Saturday, in Kaduna at the 25th anniversary of the Arewa Consultative Forum ACF and the launch of Endowment Fund, Tinubu, represented by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, saying, and then they talk this one. Now, in the midst of all of this one, where Tajuddin they talk, people don't they ask, say, I bet no vex, where the National Assembly in all of this drama going on in Nigeria? What are they supposed to do? I mean, the only thing what they do now to approve loan and to confirm people where they bring for them, because it looks like that's what's going on in National Assembly. What should Akpabio have done, with the Senate? What should Tajuddin Abbas have done with the House of Rep? How can a U.S. Congress sit down, get open hearing on waiting they happen for Nigeria? We will just be like, I don't want to say don't do, but let me take your opinion, sir.
Well, yesterday, Oji Kanu made a post that for the past 48 hours that I had refused to eat. So I don't know if Oji Kanu is Tinubu's cook to know whether he has eaten or not.
Remember, saying I saw the data men tell us say Tinubu they go, say they drive around Abuja for night to know what they happen. Nothing I see not just a car tell us. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Say for 2 days, Tinubu has not eaten because he is very, very sad because of the insecurity in the country.
Child. Oh no. And it is reflective, for inside this statement. Oh yeah, make we enter inside another matter where they happen for inside Nigeria as it gets to do with Nnamdi Kanu case. Obviously, right now they don't carry and go Sokoto. A lot of people go talk say, why far away Sokoto? Why? And the people who criticize the most, the Fulanis, based on what they go in the forests. So how you go carry them? They like say they feed them, carry and go an area where basically dominated by those people. Like say they feed them to people when criticize the most. That's not what some people they talk. Now part of punitive measures, or not just to make saying Ngo ya pepe she beans a big amount.
Well, for me, that could be part of the punishment from Omotosho, because what that part is not in the Constitution. That part is not in the Constitution, and I don't even know if the Sokoto prison is maximum prison. So, but I feel that is part of the punishment that Omotosho give.
So can Justice Omotosho do that independent of the president, based on the fact that the federal government they prosecute this case? Meaning saying that Tinubu they prosecute.
I don't understand you.
I say can Justice Omotosho take that action without independent of the president, without the knowledge of the president, considering saying that the federal government now they prosecute the matter against Nnamdi Kanu, not be just Omotosho himself.
Omotosho is an employee of the federal government. So before he takes any decision, he's an employee of the federal government. So before he takes any decision, he has to revert to his boss or bosses. He's not acting alone. People are directing him on what to do.
Then where then lies the independence of the judiciary if he's an employee of the federal government?
No, or there's no independence anywhere.
The independence don't wrong. Hey, all right, make we go straight to waiting Peter Obi talk concerning the matter. So Peter Obi don't react, and a lot of people they hold them accountable for the reaction we make. Peter Obi don't describe the arrest and detention of and the eventual conviction of Nnamdi Kanu as unfortunate. He said the process represents a failure of leadership and was capable of heightening tension rather than decreasing it. You see, at a time when it be like say the country they polarized like this, not the time when it be so supposed to they do things like this. Now, he said a lot. Obi said this, of course, in a statement titled Kanu's Conviction. Yeah. Obi calls for dialogue, healing over hostility, and all that. Now, a lot of people they talk, say people don't react to them on that. People talk, say, you see, no difference from waiting Peter Obi they talk and waiting Shegumi they talk. How can Peter Obi be saying that we should dialogue with a known terrorist, Nnamdi Kanu? That's what they said. One of those who talk Bashir Ahmed, Buhari former aide. I mean, I have a past video where I posted evidences, so you guys can go and watch it. I don't have energy to start bringing that up now. So now people now listening the talk. Bashir Ahmed now they talk say, Peter Obi don't prove say he be terrorist sympathizer, and the same thing what they accuse Shegumi of doing. Now within him, Peter Obi they do because Shegumi they seek for the amnesty of these people, these bandits. So now the same thing what Peter Obi don't do with that. Make I take a reaction.
Well, from bandits have killed many people. But if you had listened to the judgment of Motosho was saying that Nnamdi Kanu said.
They said his utterances caused the killings.
That's what he said.
Yes, now
and not what he did.
So
there are difference between
incite people to violence.
I do.
So what did he talk? Now incite people to violence. I don't know whether you get me, sir. His statements incited people to violence. Do you understand?
Yes.
So as he talked before,
as I'm saying, he never said that Nnamdi Kanu did this or did that. Okay. What he was saying that Nnamdi Kanu said. So there's not so somebody can say and will not do. Because all those things that he was saying, none of them did he do. So you cannot compare what Peter Obi is saying and what Sheikh Gumi is saying.
Okay. All right. So talking about this, because it good make you put things into perspective. So talking about waiting in Nnamdi Kanu talk, me, I don't ask that question, and I won't know whether my head correct as I ask that question. Talking about waiting in talk, we cause this problem, so we make the talk like this. No vex. You remember during the election, at the wake of the election, right? When somebody say Yachuku di Bibo, no come out for the election. Anything we see and all those monaticam. I beg, no vex. Did people eventually die, or were people eventually attacked in Lagos State during the election?
People were attacked now. People were attacked. At Agor Okota, 2 people were killed.
So if people died because of that, if people died after that statement, why should the federal government also prosecute MC Oluomo?
That's why we said there are 2 different laws in Nigeria, one for the Igbos, one for the other part of the country. Also, remember when one Oba say Ingo throw Igbos into the
lagoon if they vote PDP, Agbaje.
So that one also, now the kind of thing that
so is it because it's a traditional rule and waiting making no fit face? So because it be traditional rule and waiting making no fit face,
which means
no. So that means what's
no, not because of it's a traditional rule. Because remember the ethic of Ajawo?
Yes.
Understand?
So they hear this sound from your phone with the worry well. I didn't hear you. Go ahead, sir.
I said, remember the ethic of Ajawo?
Yes.
Who was put in Ikoyi?
Is it
Nwajiago? What did Nwajiago say? He said, if Lagos State government cannot protect Igbo properties, he will go and bring IPOB to start protecting Igbo properties. That is what he said.
And he was in prison for a long time.
They arrested him and put him.
I say he did prison for a long time.
He was in a prison for 2 years. He was in Ikoyi prison for 2 years.
So waiting Igbo people they do where they no fit. You see the reason why people feel that the Igbos are not highlight and are not united and are not doing anything. Shouldn't the Igbos also write to international communities, write to courts, write to anything, citing these cases, requesting that the federal government take up these cases and sue those people to courts? People like MC Oluomo, people like those who make those inciting comments, people that why will not feel right? Make it be say justice what they do for one person, they do it for all. To show the injustice, the level of injustice on Nnamdi Kanu. Why will not fit? Why are the Igbos not united enough to take up, or they just forget all of these issues? They don't remember.
Well, problem of most Igbo people is that they value their shop more than any other thing. Understand? And it's a very big problem.
So as long as say their shop and their business is secure, any other thing can go to hell. It doesn't matter. Is that what you're saying, sir?
I say they value or their shop, but this Nnamdi Kanu issue now has become an eye opener because Omotosho has now given us a new definition of who a terrorist is, which means if you say something, you become a terrorist. We don't know before that what Oba of Lagos said was terrorism. We did not know that what Ondomo said was terrorism. So now our eyes don't open.
All right, sir. Okay. So make we go to waiting the governor of Abia State talk, Alex Otti. He say he don't start high level conversation and negotiations for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He say they don't activate strategy to secure Nnamdi Kanu release and all those. He said a lot. I would like make you first, if you go react to this. First of all, a lot of people blame Nnamdi Kanu temperament as per waiting. This is a person where you know well. Make I let you enter inside the conversation. And by the way, you even wrote a book that addressed some of this. So I love you to jump in on this conversation, breaking down, this whole narrative and this whole issue as much as you can.
Well, a court has convicted Nnamdi Kanu, which means the only activation that Alex Otti can do is maybe for Tinubu to grant Nnamdi Kanu pardon. Before, when those 100 and something people were granted pardon, Nnamdi Kanu was not qualified for pardon at that time, because you cannot pardon somebody who
not convicted,
has not been convicted. Yes, but is qualified to be granted pardon. So it could be what that Annette is talking about.
Okay, so based on you, I mean, the book where you write about, we address some of the things about what is it about? Tell us about it.
Well, the book is that son Michael. So it's just a story of a father to a son, understand, on how to grow up to become a responsible person. But I also have to tell him the part of Nnamdi Kanu, because we are from the same area.
Okay.
Understand? And it's better for you to tell your own story instead of somebody who doesn't know you telling your own story. Because tomorrow, next year, some people will begin to think that Nnamdi Kanu is a villain, is a bad person. So, because this is somebody I know very, very well. When he was a student in the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, we were together at that time. And understand?
Yes, sir.
I was in Nsukka at that time, and Umuahia students then, we have association, understand? And many of the meetings are hosted
you
by
are also from
Umuahia people. Umuahia people who are working in the university, understand?
Yes, sir.
And then Nnamdi Kanu was not even that's an activist in this.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand?
He was just a regular camp student.
As he's not an activist. This another. We no go agree that's we no go agree. Now the Kanu was not even a member.
So let's go ahead. So
do you
what time
understand
did it? I understand very well. So which time you can start this activism and agitation for people, and what do you think say ignite them?
Well, that is when he now went to the UK, and that's where this I don't know that's the word to use. It was in UK that he started this. He started with Ralph Owazrike first.
Mm-hmm.
Ralph Owazrike is from the
Yes, Mossop.
movement. Yes, movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra.
Mm-hmm.
Owazrike formed that in 1999 at Okota here. Understand? And up to a point, I was Owazrike's media when Nnamdi Kanu was in charge of Radio Biafra, which was operating from UK.
Which is part of what's part of evidence. Not some of the evidence against them in transmit, and one big evidence we then hold against them, very big.
But is it a crime that to own a transmitter? A lot of people own
big. You know, say they confiscate the things them, depending on big evidence. Sorry, sir, evidence.
I said, is owning a radio and transmitter, is it a crime?
By the interpretation of what we see now, because he use them incite people, they can't go kill people. You don't understand, sir?
Yeah. So it is in.
Oh, your network the worry, sir. Hello, sir. Hello. Oh, the network is really bad. So I have the link to that book, my son Nnamdi Kanu, my son Michael, by addressing the story of Nnamdi Kanu. My son Michael, addressing the story of Nnamdi Kanu. It's already on Amazon, so I just put up the link there. You can, by Dr. Peter Obi. You can check it out at on Amazon. It's there. I can see it already. I'll get a copy myself. So please ensure you get a copy of it. Dr. Obi, can you hear me? Are you there now? Dr. Obi, are you there? Okay, I don't know if you can hear me. So my son, Michael, is a powerful and thought-provoking book that blends history, motivation, and personal reflection into one timeless message for the next generation. Now, in this compelling narrative, the author, Dr. Kanu, draws from the courage and resilience of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, to teach vital life lessons about purpose, perseverance, and responsibility. With heartfelt storytelling rooted in Umuahia heritage, the book explores what it truly means to stand for truth, face adversity, and remain steadfast, and even when the price is high. So, addressed to his 12-year-old son, and by extension, the youths around the world, the book is both a father's legacy and a call to action. It challenges young people to rise above procrastination, distractions, and the endless scroll of social media to pursue purpose with passion and excellence. So, though insightful through insightful examples from global icons like Benjamin Franklin, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Kylie Jenner, it highlights how the 20s are the most crucial years for defining one's destiny. So if you're a parent, I think this is a book you need to buy for your child, especially if you have a teenager, to shaping their life so that as they read, they're going to say, now by this time, I'm supposed to get science to know how our life will use the organized. So if you're a parent, I think it will do you a world of good to get a copy of this book for your child, because it will help direct the path of your child. And most importantly, if you're a parent from Igbo heritage, I think it's also an opportunity to educate your child on the things we concern their history, especially as it gets to do with this Nnamdi Kanu case and IPOB and all of those. But let me quickly go through that conversation. Alex Otti talk. Now, the Abia State Governor, Alex Otti, has reacted to the life imprisonment handed down to indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu by the federal court in Abuja. Now, vowing to intensify a diplomatic strategy aimed at securing his release. Justice James Omotoso delivered the judgment, of course, on Thursday. In a statement personally signed by the governor and released through his media advisor, Ferdinand Ikoma, Otti revealed that that he had already initiated high-level engagements with federal authorities long before the judgment and would now escalate those efforts since the trial had reached a conclusion. While Nnamdi Kanu is free to appeal conviction, I'm happy to inform you that I have activated and will continue to work on the already agreed strategy until his freedom is secured, the governor said. Now, Governor Otti declared that during a visit to Kanu at the Department of State Services, DSS, earlier in the year, he communicated details of a political and diplomatic resolution framework being discussed with highest authorities in the country. He criticized what he described as the federal government's mishandling of the early stages of the IPOB crisis. The governor argued that poor management allowed tensions to escalate into the current situation it is right now. And he insisted that political dialogue remains the only situation to peace in the country. Now, the poor management of the IPOB issue at the incubation stage created the problem we have today. Hence, we cannot allow it to linger and create a bigger monstrous situation for us, Alex Otti said. So we are looking forward generally to seeing that resolution, or that's, we see the federal government could use resolve this matter with Nnamdi Kanu. So a lot of people, they talk, say, well, this may just be, just talks, because it may not actually be possible that the federal government will want to have this kind of conversation, or would want to, because if they wanted to, by the way, person where they hold for the whole 4 years, I mean, it's for don't free, I mean, they won't free them. Because you cannot tell us that we've not had people delegates and people mediate on this matter and request for his release and pardon. If, as I said and gave as an example yesterday, Showore can be pardoned and the federal government can enter a nollie prosecute in Showore's case, so he wasn't eventually convicted, why was it difficult for the federal government to also do same or extend same, to Nnamdi Kanu? That's the question people are asking. Why is it difficult, or why has it been difficult? Dr. Nosike, are you back with us? Dr. Nosike, can you hear me? Dr. Nosike, are you there? Can you hear me? Hello, sir. If you're talking, we need to hear you, because if you like say you're muted, you could check yourself whether you're muted, because we need to hear what you talk at all. All right. Make I also let people know. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
So you turn up one of your devices, please. Turn up one of your devices. Please hold back. Please help us turn up one of the devices. I bet you don't turn them off. I beg you. Hold back. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Phone lines are open, by the way. Let's quickly begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversation. So we'll let you go tonight. So I don't put that link to my son Michael. It's not my son Nnamdi Kanu, I beg. My son Michael. So please kindly correct it. You can go look out for it on Amazon. Just follow that link. You will see the book for inside Amazon. If you just click on that link, it will direct you straight to the book, so that you could fit go see them by yourself. And let me allow it to be pinned. Let me allow it pinned so that you can always go back there and watch it. But phone lines are open, please. 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call to join the conversation. 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. And in a fresh development for waiting they happen, let's hope that Dr. Nosike has rejoined us and we can hear him now. Can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you.
Okay. So we've been to talk about this book and all that. Now, Showore, a very good friend of yours too. If Alex Otti say they don't date for discussion with the federal government since. And when it's not really Alex Otti will be the person way from the southeast, we don't try to mediate for inside this matter of Nnamdi Kanu. Why do you think it's been difficult for the federal government to just perhaps enter a nollie prosecute on his case like they did for Shawari? Why did they have to drive it through to a conviction?
Well, I said that it's because of the way that Igbos have not been really been reconciled to Nigeria, because after the war, Gowon declared no victor, no vanquish, and now made a pronouncement of 3R: rehabilitation, reconstruction, and reconciliation. So none of that has been done up to today. So Igbos have not been reconciled to Nigeria. So what people from the other parts of the country can do and go free, when the Igbos do it, it becomes a problem.
Okay. All right. So make you finish telling us the story of my son Michael, I beg, so that we'll
Okay,
refresh
so
and then you were telling us about.
because tomorrow it is good to tell your own story, and if you don't tell your own story, others will tell it in the way it will favor them.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes, so that is what I try to do in the book, to tell the story of Nnamdi Kanu, who he is, what is behind because one, if an Nnamdi Kanu is from Umuahia, and if an Umuahia man remove shirt, say he's going there to fight, he will not put that shirt back until that fight finish. Do you understand me?
Yes, I do, sir.
If an Umuahia man remove shirt, say he's going there to fight, he not go put that shirt on until that fight finish. So it is running in Nnamdi Kanu's
so you're saying that say Nnamdi Kanu they like a typical Omaya person at the fight to finish.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And again, Umuahia and the people when no they snitch. Understand? That is why of all the parts of eastern Nigeria now, Umuahia Wojuku build his bunker, because he knows that Umuahia people no go betray him. Understand?
Is this reality or just you know? I think so. We get different type of people for different areas.
I'm telling you who a typical Umuahia person is. I'm telling you who a typical Umuahia person is. So, Nnamdi Kanu is not acting that's a Nigerian stubborn boy. No, that is who he is.
Understand? But that is one of the things that the judge held against him. Now, when the judge talks, saying no show repentance, saying no show remorse, saying the arrogance and cocky.
And what?
Na cocky, Abi, you get the word we use them.
Oh, Madam Precious. And Umuahia man has two characters in they are courageous and shy. Understand? They are very courageous and very shy.
Oh dear. Oh dear. This network no will let us finish this conversation in peace. Oh dear. All right. Phone lines are open once more. Please jump in on the conversation 0817-029-4077, or you follow the link for the pinned post. Make you join us straight into the studio. Make I just give us some more update for waiting they happen for inside Nigeria, because Italy's prime minister, that is the sorry, okay, so let's go. So Giorgia Meloni, Italy's prime minister, don't call on the federal government of Nigeria to take a decisive action against perpetrators of attacks in Christian communities. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, take action on people where they kill Christians. In a statement posted today on X, Meloni condemned the latest outbreak of violence, describing the attacks as heinous and unacceptable. So our matter don't reach Italy, as it don't reach other parts of the country too. So if they Italy right now, they table a matter like that on top of Italy. Now, she urged the government to intensify security measures to ensure those behind the killings are brought to justice. And that's how you talk. Quoting her, she said, we strongly condemn the renewed violence that took place today against Christian communities in Nigeria, she wrote. Religious freedom is an invaluable right. All right. We asked the Nigerian government to strengthen the protection of Christian communities and all religious communities and to prosecute those responsible for these heinous attacks. The Italian leader said her country stands in solidarity with the families affected and communities living in fear as a result of religious targeted violence in Nigeria. Quoting her, she said, Italy expresses all its closeness to the victims and to the communities in Nigeria who today feel in danger because of their religious beliefs. Her comments, of course, come amid U.S. scrutiny of escalating attacks in Nigeria, where armed groups, bandits, Fulani headsmen, and extremist fighters have carried out mass killings, kidnappings, and raids, including raping of people for inside Nigeria. We get the St. Mary's own, we get the Kebbi School own. When we get the church for inside Kwara State, we get different attacks which just they happen back to back to back to back. Like say, we dare you, Donald Trump, they born you and make us see what you do. Make we see how this matter go do, because it look like front to front to front, it does the move from country to country. Everybody don't they complain about the situation. Then we're looking for, people are saying that they're looking forward to seeing the level of decisive action where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would take to end this insecurity, because it be like say we needed this wake-up call, because at a time like this, the thing just they go on, and nobody don't talk. The question be say, wait, if international communities did not step in or mention or said anything, that's all these things will they continue with that problem at all, without anybody saying anything. That's a question. People are saying that wait, but then the international community, were they fair to have kept quiet all this while? Were they fair to have kept quiet all this while? Because all of these people don't they die since the whole of Buhari tenure, where this is don't they happen, even from the beginning of Jonathan tenure. We haven't had this kind of response and reaction what they get right now. Why we get to wait till now before we get these responses? All right. If you like Senate Talk, no, let us join with Organ of CK again. Make I end the show here. So quickly, you can check his book out in Amazon. I love you guys and appreciate you. In all the Wahala where they happen, don't forget to protect your mental health, because Wahala need to finish. I'll see you guys again tomorrow evening, God willing, with Prince Francis Chilaka. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. I love you guys. Good night and God bless you. Thank you so much.